reasons why I think this is a perfect brooder. One, because it's mobile. You're able to move it anywhere you want to go, and they can get on fresh grass, and I think that's good for them to learn at an early age. Two, because it's got a ton of ventilation. It's got hardware cloth that's super hardy on all sides except for the very, very bottom, so that keeps a really nice flow of air, especially on these hot North Carolina days. And three, because it's so multi-purpose. Like, I can use it for my chicks until they get big enough for me to put them in the big coop, or on the off season when I'm not raising chicks, I can put my rabbits in there, and it's a great brooder for a rabbit too. Also, it's pretty good if you've got a sick chicken or maybe a hurt chicken, an adult chicken, you can put them in there. And if ever I were to hatch out eggs, which I really don't see it, but if ever I had one sitting on eggs, I could always put her in there, and she'd have like her own little apartment. So super versatile is the reason I like it. Multi-purpose, and you know, the good ventilation. It's the perfect, really is the perfect brooder. And I'm really glad that my husband's a carpenter and he can make me as many as I want. And there's another one in the works right now because I've got 100 chickens coming next week. I think we're just going to dump it either in the garden spot or in the back. That's a lot of rabbit poop, ain't it?
Yeah.
And chicken poop.
About putting going up there.
That's free fertilizer. Can you say fertilizer?
Fertilizer.
Do you know what fertilizer does?
Yeah.
Helps your plants grow. That's a lot.
Fertilizer gets in your plant.
I can get some oil.
Mm-hmm. Tour around the brooder. It's not that tall. I'm like 5, like what, 6 or something. So of course it's kind of short. It's got runners on the bottom. My husband put those on there so that when we hook it to the four-wheeler or pull it any kind of way, they'll run kind of easy. You can go around. It's got this tilted roof. All the water runs off the back. They stay nice and dry. I've got a door here on the front and up here too. I like to have the door on the bottom just because, in case I have like a stubborn chick that just doesn't want to get up there. I've got to get like a little cam. I like that there's, if you can see that this is open without me opening it, you can drop this down and trap them at the top so that when you move it, it makes it easy and you don't have to worry about running over anybody or following it or have anybody back there to make sure that, you know, there's nobody in the way. Hold on, guys. I go ahead and put their water in here. They've got 2 little chick feeders. They're about ready to upgrade to a bigger feeder. There's a bridge that runs down there at the bottom. Oops. Sorry, they will escape in a minute. Oh, let me get down here. Everything opens super nice. I'm really fortunate to have my husband be a carpenter because he makes it super nice for me. The bridge comes down. He's also got that runs across here. It makes it super easy when you want whatever's in here to graze. When you have rabbits in there, he made that bridge wide so that when I put my rabbits in there, they're safe to hop down as well. I really like the fact that I can run my rabbits and my chickens in here, and that I can run them. There's enough room in there to run. I think there's 30 in there now, and they're comfortable. They're not too many. When I go to get my other chicks that come in next week, I'll have a whole nother brooder. I can keep up to 100 in there while they're small. But when they get a little bit bigger, I'll put half in here and then half in that other brooder until they get big enough to put in the big coops. And I'll show you those a little bit later. They're a little bit more elaborate, but they're also movable. Anything we have, I like to make movable. Instead of using chicken wire and stuff, we always use hardware cloth because it's super strong. We used hardware cloth in the bottom. And one good thing about using hardware cloth instead of putting a solid bottom in it is that hardware cloth's not going to rot as quick as plywood or even any other kind of boards. And it's going to have really nice ventilation. So right now when it's super hot, they still get plenty of ventilation throughout this whole coop. And in the winter or in the early spring when I get new chicks and put those in there, all I have to do is either put cardboard down and sprinkle shavings on it, or either just put shavings down, and that keeps all the heat in and keeps them nice and warm. And I'll put like a piece of cardboard, or we've got a board cut to square right here that I'll put up there in the winter, especially when we have wind, because you don't want your chicks to get too awful cold. I can hook my lamp up here, or there's rafters in the top. Watch out, guys. There's rafters in the top that I can hook that light right on and run the cord out, and it runs right through here. And so they can have that. It just depends on how cold it is. And I always keep one of those temperature testers to like test surface area to see. But other than that, it's super handy. Like everybody needs one, especially with small animals. You can use it for, rabbits to brood in there and raise babies. You can use for chickens. If you're hatching chickens, it's perfect because it's heavy enough to where something's really going to have to try hard to dig up under there to get into them. You can close them up at the top at night so you don't have to worry about if something does get in the bottom, they can't get at the top anyway. It keeps them dry above ground. So if it's too wet and I don't want to let them down, I don't have to. Plenty of ventilation. You can use it if you have a sick chicken and you just need it to be in quarantine chickens for a while. It's perfect, and they get fresh grass and, plenty of space. It's 2 tiers, so I love it.